some reason, you're listening to Hoppothetically. Enjoy. You know the group Anonymous? All right, they're changing the name of Anonymous to Anonymous and Nathan. What? And you're applying to be the Nathan. Pitch your role. And you can't hack. You're in person.
They all work from home.
Yeah, but Nathan doesn't.
I think what you have to do is go in with the mask and really show off how your jawline really accentuates.
Everyone wears a Nathan mask now.
We all wear my mask. I think I have some real things going for me in this situation. For one, my head's big, so it's a mask that will fit everybody. It's a one size fit all.
Two people could share.
Yeah, you can have a few. It would be the Nathan mask now, and then there's like 3 shoulders beneath it.
Or if it ever starts raining, you have an umbrella for like 9 people.
Or if it snows, you have a sled. Do I have to do anything in this position, or am I
Yes, you do.
The face of Anonymous?
No, I mean you are the face. So when people are angry at Anonymous, it's your face as the mask, and your home address is on it.
Could we call it Nathan and Friends? Could I pitch like other names where it's my name gets to go first?
No, it's Anonymous and Nathan. But which Nathan is it? Nathan Hopping.
It's said. I have a podcast. It's very obvious whose face is in.
You'd be Anonymous's enforcer. They would like hack people, and they would delete their social security number and donate all their money to some charity, and also send them an email, be like, by the way, fucking Nathan is going to be there in 8 hours.
They have gone after terrorists. I would have to go to those terrorist groups. I'd be like, okay. They'd be like, okay, Nathan, your next assignment is Al Qaeda. It's like, really?
And they don't pay for your flights.
No, they don't. You think it'd be easy afterwards to get a job, or do you think that'd be harder? I'm the Nathan from Anonymous and Nathan.
And they don't believe you? Yeah. You think if you were an Anonymous and you went out drinking, it would be hard? You think people are like, hey, I'm an Anonymous?
But I think you have that plausibility where people are like, yeah, sure you are, man.
Or you'd be able to hold that in, but every time you get drunk, you're like, hey, have you guys seen V for Vendetta? Yeah, it's pretty fucking awesome.
Could you imagine if that's how the FBI was looking for Anonymous and how they found them was just who still rents the movie V for Vendetta now?
I think there is a sizable part of Anonymous who doesn't really know hacking stuff, and they just mostly watch V for Vendetta.
They spend 5 years practicing how to use a sword.
Yeah, like they can throw knives, and it's like, no, we're more of like a cyber thing. And they're like, well, I can stab their computer. And they're like, well, please don't.
Who is it directed by?
I don't know. Anonymous.
It's directed by them. At the end of the movie, they're like, thank you for applying.
I bet most of the Anonymous people are really out of shape, like weirdos. Like, because the reason they only use the mask as the symbol is because they don't want the full body to be the symbol.
What if you found out they were all really hot and they were just trying to be humble about it? Like, they are gorgeous. People were like, did you hack me? Oh, okay. I didn't even... God, I was just staring at you. Yeah. Oh my God.
What if we started a separate organization called ASS-NONYMOUS? We find bad people. ASS-NONYMOUS and Nathan shows up and shows them his ass. And they're like, wait a minute, he has no ass. We should actually start ASS-NONYMOUS. And it would be like a picture of an ass with the mustache, the Guy Fawkes mustache or whatever, an ass with a mustache. And we find people who do bad things. What would ASS-NONYMOUS do to people?
Seems like ass stuff. It seems like they're going to do something to your butt.
You know all those videos from Anonymous where they're like, we will stop you. We will whatever. We're just like, we are ASS-NONYMOUS. We do not deal with injustice. We will do ass stuff to you.
No, we don't even say that. We do the exact same thing, but every few seconds we're talking goes to like a fuzzy screen and then do a picture of somebody's butt. Like a really close-up shot. Like, imagine the scene from Jaws where the thing is getting closer. It's us just getting closer to people's butts.
We do not tolerate evil and injustice, and we will fuck your butt with things.
It's just a bunch of jumps between that and then large cylindrical objects.
And then people are like, wait, so you raped me? And we're like, no, we are ASS-NONYMOUS. We will find you. We will get consent and we will fuck your ass.
What if we're just people that are really pro ass stuff? Like, we're just really sex positive with butt stuff. And we're just trying to convince the world one bad guy at a time that butt stuff is totally cool.
If you convince someone that butt stuff is fun, and then they look away like, wow. And then they look back and you're wearing the mask. And they're like, oh, it's ASS-NONYMOUS.
Scrap the whole stopping bad guys. Let's just teach people how to fuck people in the butt.
We like bad guys because they have the best asses. Or, you know what? We just find people whose asses we like, and then we try to make them seem bad. We're just like finding random dudes like you jaywalked, prepared to be ass fucked, and they're like, that doesn't seem appropriate, and it's too late. Nathan will be there shortly.
Wait, Wait. ASS-NONYMOUS is not men. We're not looking for men specifically. And then why am I fucking them in the ass?
You're the point man.
Those assumptions. Fine, maybe I have to fuck people in the butt. But like why are they all men?
I don't know. It's just coincidence. Look, I did the scheduling. I'm pretty sure there are some women who get in there,
so you're starting a company where you want me to fuck people in the ass, but you're just picking people, and for some reason you're only picking men.
The process for picking is very complex, and it's hard to. I don't like about justice. Justice is blind. Justice is blind.
I don't like your weird voyeurism where you're like, I'm gonna get my brother to fuck you in the butt
after getting consent.
After getting consent.
I just want to make sure that's there. Nathan gets consent before he anonymously butt fucks people.
I don't like any of what you just said. Okay. Did you see the new Doctor Strange movie? Did you see the end credit scene? By the way, I'm spoiling
with the third eye.
What if the next Doctor Strange movie isn't about him being like any of his magic or anything? It's just him dealing with what it's like to have a third eye.
He's like very nearsighted and keeps getting confused, and he can't find glasses.
You're the writer of this movie, so what are some other ideas you have?
I mean, it's a lot about like, does he have a third eyebrow? That's the movie. He's self-conscious that he doesn't have a third eyebrow.
Yeah, he draws it in, but it's people can tell.
People can tell. Even with all his magic powers, being the Sorcerer Supreme, he can't quite copy what his normal eyebrows look like.
Marvel is concerned that it's not very interesting, that he's not doing any magic and just has three eyes. So like, how do you get butts in seats? How are you going to spice up the story?
You have to make it relevant to what's going on. So when the third eye blinks, people think he's winking at them, and they don't like the sexual advances.
Even after he explains,
so he gets Me Too over it. But he has three eyes, so they call it Me Threed. That's why they call it Me Too, because everyone has two eyes. I don't know if you know that, but that's why it was called that. But Doctor Strange gets Me Threed.
It's good. It's the third movie. That's awesome.
Just Doctor Strange 3, Me 3.
Yeah. Doctor Strange, Me 3.
It's mostly just tweets from Doctor Strange and then other people.
Like, we liked when he saved the multiverse, but we didn't like when he said all that stuff about.
Yeah. No, it'd be called Doctor Strange 3. He's ugly. That's the thing. He gets more power. He can use dark magic, chaos magic, but he's very ugly. Mm-hmm. It's actually regular magic. He's just so self-conscious about being ugly that he is very chaotic. I'm gonna breaking stuff.
I'm gonna throw a twist into this. They're gonna do it like all the other Cumberbatch movies. So he's also gonna be a closeted gay man. How is that going to change? How is that going to change the script?
That his eye only opens when he's being gay. It's a metaphor. It's a metaphor. It's a beautiful metaphor.
Give me an example of when his eye would open.
He would join ASS-NONYMOUS. He would close both of the normal eyes, open the one eye.
He would start pretending to do bad things.
Yeah.
Hoping to get
I'm a villain.
He would do a bad thing, and then he would like really show off his butt in and around the New York area.
Oh, that's a good. Instead of ASS-NONYMOUS in the Marvel universe, it's the ASS-Vengers.
That doesn't sound as consensual, to be totally honest.
No, it is consensual. Robert Downey Jr. is like, we may not be able to save the Earth, but we will ASS-Venge it.
But ASS-Venge feels like coming from the other way. Like you had butt sex with someone and it didn't go well, and we're avenging the butt.
That's what it's about. Yeah, it's that Loki came to Earth and then fucked all the Avengers in the butt consensually, and then the Avengers got ASS-Venge and fucked him right back consensually.
I'm gonna just do my other question about Multiverse of Madness, because I didn't like any of what we just said.
Multiverse of Assness.
Yeah. So you in this situation, you are Doctor Strange. Yeah, you're the one that did all the dream walking shit, and you're trying to figure out how to kill Thanos, how to beat Thanos. So you start dream walking, and you realize in every other universe, you are the manager of a Home Depot. Like you are actually the only timeline where you are a sorcerer, but in every other one, you're a manager. Like, how can you help us beat Thanos?
All you learned was like where the wood is,
yeah,
where the garden supplies are. Thanos is probably upset because he doesn't have a nice shed.
Yeah,
get him a shed. In the end of Infinity War, he's sitting in a little shed. You know where he got that lumber?
Mm-hmm. When he's worried about half the population destroying all the resources, you just take him to your local Home Depot and you show him, no, there is like, look at all these aisles.
Look at all this stuff.
There is plenty of wood, and look at how many options of paint and nails we have. You think we're gonna run out anytime soon?
Yeah, he's like, I was such a fool. Every single creature on the universe could have a beautiful kitchen backsplash. Oh my goodness, we need more people, not less, so they can see all these amazing backsplashes. What's the point of a backsplash if you don't have trillions of people to see it? And every Dr. Strange actually has an aptitude for magic, but the management at Home Depot stamps it out. Just learn where the screws are. Don't worry about drawing weird symbols in the air. Draw prices on the screws.
Yeah, and the worst part is that some universes, you went to universes where he could do magic, but he just did it to make him a better manager at Home Depot.
Oh, is he the manager?
Yeah, he's the manager. He's the manager.
In the ones where he can do magic, he gains the rank of manager.
Yeah, he gains
manager supreme.
Yeah, manager.
Which is just what he calls himself.
Yeah. And it's like when people are asking which aisle to go to, he makes a magic portal that sends them there, and they're like, I could just walk. I don't want to.
Yeah, and he's like, I'm the manager supreme, and they're like, is that a white power thing? And he's like, no. Say it again. I'm the manager supreme. It sounds like you're a fucking Nazi. I'm magic. Oh, like a grand wizard. Huh? No. I just find the wood, and then what? You burn the wood?
Yeah, you make a cross with it, huh? Is that what you do with the wood?
What if there was a universe where when you use chaos magic, instead of getting a third eye, you get a second anus on your forehead?
Oh, I was gonna say that's actually a thing. I actually know someone that has 2 anuses.
Because they use chaos magic.
Yeah.
And he paid a heavy price. And as soon as you get that second anus, ASS-NONYMOUS is all over you.
I was going to say the opposite. Like once we open the button, like, oh, you have done the forbidden. We would never, we hold ass as sacred. We only want the natural law of ass. Never accept your weird magic butthole.
That's true. That actually kind of ties in. ASS-NONYMOUS's goal is to figure out who used chaos magic by checking everyone's ass.
We do it by both how many and by depth. People, if you're wondering, does the depth change with the chaos magic? It does not. Not to our knowledge, but we're still testing.
We don't know.
But we'll find out.
You know what would have been good is if, all right, imagine Multiverse of Madness. You know the scene where Wanda fights everybody and she does the thing to Black Bolt where she's like, what mouth? And she takes away his mouth. What if that was her only move? She just keeps what mouthing people. Wanda, please give me that. Yeah. What mouth? What mouth? What mouth? And then she takes over the world. She's like, if you fight against me, I will what mouth you.
Yeah. She does other puns, but they don't land as good. But she gets rid of their mouths anyway, so they can't call her out for the. Could you imagine if that's
Dr. Strange 2? What mouth?
Could you imagine if that was her actual plan? She's like, I'm going to beat the superheroes. How? I'm going to get rid of their ability to quit back.
Yeah, they won't be clever. And then what are they? Doctor Strange and Iron Man would just have goatees surrounding nothing. Yeah. I think they're so dedicated to their goatees. I think they would draw, like how you draw eyebrows, they would draw in a mouth. Yeah, and they'd be like, wait, do you have a mouth? And they're like, mm-hmm. Well, why don't you say something? Mm-mm. Would you take this job? You make $48,000 a year. You work in a hospital, and your job is just to sneak up on and scare pregnant women to see if the baby pops out. So far, it has not happened yet.
Is this a study I'm running, or am I just?
You just do it. Do they just in case, just for good measure?
Do people hire me for this, or do I?
The hospital hires you.
So they believe this is an effective use of resources.
Well, you're only making $48,000 a year. It's not that big a deal.
If another pandemic happens, they're going to call myself a hero.
People always call you a hero.
Well, I get to say I'm a frontlines worker.
Again, so far, no baby has popped out. So then you have to take that into account. You know, you're feeling a little demoralized. You're like, maybe I'm no good.
Am I allowed to try more advanced tactics?
Yeah, what would you do to the pregnant women?
I think my first thought is like when you're trying to open a ketchup packet by squeezing it.
Jeez.
Start from the top like a Go-Gurt.
You'd squeeze their cheeks and then work your way down. Then you go all ASS-NONYMOUS on them?
I don't fuck them in the ass consensually.
You don't get consent?
This is stressing me out. Okay.
No, so you take the job.
Yeah, I take the job. I would go 6 to 8 months, and then I would try to move into other similar fields. Like if people had kidney stones, I would try to be like, I can get those out. That feels like I would be doing sexual acts on people, but I think it's because I'm committed to my job and I just want to help people.
You'd start like taking credit for just babies being born. Yeah. Like the baby's already being delivered, and you're like, I did that. That was me.
I would go into other surgeries. Like, this guy has stage 4 cancer. It's hit his lymph nodes. Like, let me squeeze it out. I've gotten 34 babies. I can get this cancer. I know how to do it. It's called the Go-Gurt principle. That's what they call it in the field.
Start cheating. You go in, you scare somebody, like a pregnant lady. You're like, and they're like, I don't think it worked. And then you just hand them a baby. You're like, that's your baby. And they're like, no, I'm still pregnant. I think you just handed me a different baby.
No, you're
like,
very fat.
No, that's your baby. Yeah, you just look terrible. You have a very dense stomach that moves around, but this is your baby.
You spent 6 months just eating way too much food for no reason. I can feel kicking. It's like, that's your kidneys. You should stop drinking too.
That's cake.
Yeah, that's cake. You got to work on that.
Cake. Eat enough cake, it kicks, fatty.
You just start fat shaming women and stealing babies. That's how
you scare them. Instead of startling them, you tell them how fat they've gotten, and you scare them because how difficult it's going to be to lose the weight, and that makes the baby come out, because they just they push the baby out because they feel so ashamed.
No woman is going to listen to this podcast. What if you found out in the new movie Top Gun Maverick? What if you found out it was done with all real planes, but you found out Tom Cruise was CGI the whole time? You never took part in the movie.
In any movie. There is no Tom Cruise. He is a creation of Scientology.
Yeah, it's all just CGI. Would you go to the press?
Oh, no, that's dangerous. I would keep it to myself.
Yeah, they'll find
I would become a bigger fan of Tom Cruise just so nobody suspected that I knew. Katie Holmes was just like doing scene work the whole time. She was just like imagining jokes Tom Cruise told and would just laugh randomly.
It's weird that they made him so short.
It's because CGI is really expensive.
You pay CGI per inch of person.
Or they just fucked up and keep editing him too small. Like, make him a little bigger. They're like, are you sure? I'm excited for I think the future. Tom Cruise is going to be in movies when he's elderly, and he's going to keep insisting on doing his own stunts, but it's going to be way too dangerous because he's like 78. So they're going to have to trick an aging Tom Cruise into thinking he's doing his own stunts. Like, they're just going to put him in like a shopping cart with a blanket on top and be like, Tom, you're in the airplane. You're flying, Tom. And then they're going to run him around the grocery store, and he's just like, Maverick, baby.
They're going to have a separate budget just for tricking Tom Cruise.
Yeah, just the Tom Cruise budget. Tom Cruise is just like, I've still got it. Now somebody give me a caramel. They're going to have to give him a lot of caramels. The sugar makes him a little loopy. So he thinks he's jumping off of buildings and running.
What do you think he's doing skydiving? It's just a guy picking him up and going, woo.
Tom just keeps yelling, you can't handle the truth.
He doesn't even know what movie he's in.
Every time they turn away, Tom Cruise takes off his pants and he's just wearing socks and a button-down shirt. Just keeps running around like, na, 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 na. They're like, Tom, put your pants on. He's like, I do my own stunts. And then he pulls out his dong. He's like, I did blackface in Tropic Thunder, and I'm not sorry. And they're like, no, Tom, that was Robert Downey Jr. And he's like, I did it too, just not in the movie. We should start having closing remarks. In conclusion, ASS-NONYMOUS.
Yeah, ASS-NONYMOUS.
I guess that's it. That is it. Thanks, everybody.